All right, this is a very interesting piece. The reason it's so interesting is you don't see newspapers much past 1900, 1901, rarely come up, and that's because the newspaper itself, the quality of the paper, is terrible. It's by today's standards. It's lightweight. It becomes mushy quickly. It darkens quickly. So when it came up, I bid high on it because I really felt that it was something I wanted to look at. And I thought that the reason I wanted to look at it because one of the pictures showed a Nick Carter story in it, and I've got a lot of people who collect Nick Carter. So I looked at it and said, okay, if it's got one story in it based on past experience, it'll have two. Occasionally it'll have three with front covers. There was a series in, I think, 92 or 91, 1892, 91, where there was one every week, but it was in the back of the book. Long and the short of it, this has 5, which I was very pleased, and I'm sure there are going to be some collectors that are pleased. It starts off on October 15th, 1904, with issue number 1 of volume 60. Paper is good. Wherever this was stored, it was stored right. I have to admit, when I first started going through it, I had some concerns because the first, the first 7 are the exact same story, A Wife for a Day with a Finger of Fate by Emma G. Weldon. And I said, okay, that means there's probably going to be maybe, 6 or 7 stories in the whole area. It's got the Josh Billings philosophy, different stories about the West. I should have started off with Esther the Freight by Georgie Sheldon, Down in Dixie by St. George Rathbone. Let's see, For the Love of Vivian by Bertha Clay. And I'll go through the stories again since I didn't do it in the beginning. A Wife for a Day, Finger of Fate, Emma G. Weldon. For the Love of Vivian, Bertha Clay. To Whom It Concerned by Harkley Barker. Andrew Licicitor's Love, Effie Aldine Rollins. Down in Dixie by St. George Rathbone. Esther the Freight. Gotta be Fright, not Freight, sorry. Esther the Fright, Mrs. Georgie Sheldon. Sweet Love's Atonement by E.B.E.R. Southworth. After that, I'm just going to mention any news stories. Paper is slightly tanned, and it keeps that consistency straight through. Let's see, For Heart or Conscience, Bertha M. Clay. So here we are 9 chapters into it, and we're still on the Wife for a Day story by Emma Weldon. So you can sense my concern as I was first going through it. It does have a hard ending. A happy ending as well as a hard ending. 10. It's probably right about here that I started thinking, okay, I'm going to lose money on this volume. Because I did buy it, particularly for Nick Carter's. And here's the first Nick Carter story, Price of Silence, Nicholas Carter. Aunt Polly's Surprise by Almedia M. Brown. A Bride Adrift by Margaret Howell. Another, look at this guy. He's skulking in the corner. Still on A Bride Adrift. Is this the last chapter? No, the next one must be the last chapter of the Nick Carter story. An Inherited Feud by Effie Aladen Rollins. I'm sure I'm killing the names. Here we have one, The Golden Key by Mrs. Georgie Shelton. Another large base of fans that enjoy your writings. Dr. Jack's Talisman by St. George Rathmore. For Honor's Sake by Bertha M. Clay. Nicholas Carter, marked for death. Four of the stories are complete. Another jump from the past, the ones that I have 3 stories in, usually the last one or the first one is not complete. Roger Strong's Blessing by Hesperian. I have to see what pseudonym that is. I'm making this video in 2020, so I will state that I hope everybody out there is staying safe and healthy. The Bitter Harvest by Carolyn Hastings. All the Nick Carters have got 1. Bertha Clay and such and Weldon, 10, 3, 4, 5 front covers. For honor's sake, Bertha Clay. Continued. This is 1905. Paper from 1905 was just, you don't find it because it just doesn't last. Let's see. A Long Martyrdom, here we go. Charles W. Hathaway. A little over halfway through. Under the Tiger's Claw by Nicholas Carter. A Marriage for Spite, or The Shadow of Shame, Emily P. Hartwell. Love the Conqueror by Bertha M. Clay. Master of Roger Thorpe by Harriet Ransom. Clydea's Love Dream, Owen Masters. An Artful Schemer, Mystery of a Double Life by Nicholas Carter. A Gilded God, Sin of the Past by Mrs. E. Berkey Collins. The Student's Secret by Mrs. W. H. Palmer. Tardy Wooing by Charles W. Hathaway. Selena's Love Story, Effie Aldeline Rollins. The end of the last Nick Carter story. It must be in the next. The Head of Gold, Wife of a Quest, The Wife's Quest, Martin Ashton. Gerald's Delusion, Marion Leroy. The Artful Schemer. The end. The next story must be, The Silent Partner, Nicholas Carter. There's a section of a Nick Carter story in about 75% of this book. An Allurement Revisited by Annie Claire. have it. This will be listed on our eBay site, Dime Novel Hunter. It'll also be listed on our website, dimenovelhunter.com. Have a good day.